which is coming Friday, Purim Katan, that the only thing for this Purim Katan in mitzvah-wise is to be happy. So we're getting there. We're preparing for it. I have to prepare before the Chag.
Miriam, can you move the screen so I can see your face?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's like Ilana was talking about love Hashem.
I can't do it.
How can I turn love on, turn love off, be happy? So, you're in good company, Karen, because Rabbi Nassan said the same thing. His teacher, Rabbi Nachman, was saying it's very important to be happy on Shabbos. It's like a big mitzvah to be happy on Shabbos. And then he looked at his student and he said, "Oh, now I gave you another reason not to be happy. What's the other reason? Well, it's a big mitzvah and I'm falling short and I have to and I don't. Now another reason not to be happy." So Hashem understands our heart. And he loves us, and you can try a little bit. And then there's all these things in my tool chest. Dancing is one of them. It worked this week for me, thank you, Hashem. When all else fails, it's called Mila Dishtusa. Because sometimes, we really should be happy for all the good things. Live in spot, silly. That's like first aid for joy. Because of all the important, real reasons to be happy, I'm a Orthodox Jewish woman living in Tzfat. Yeah. Sometimes it just doesn't do it for me. Like, okay, what else?
Right, that doesn't sound like who you do.
Yeah, like what else? It depends on my mood. It depends on my, sometimes I could like, wow, thank you, Hashem. But sometimes, okay, what else? And it's almost Shabbos, okay, what else? And dress nicely, okay, what else? And other ideas of real important reasons to be happy?
That people
we're healthy,
come out in the rain and cold, be together and have fellowship.
If these good reasons and really good don't work, there's first aid. And so one, like if a person, when the ambulance comes, they don't think about, okay, is it the liver? Is it the heart? Just get him to breathe. Just do first aid, Then we'll get to the hospital. We'll see what the problem. The first aid is being silly. Just like to make silly faces or to make silly noises, moo, meow. And
I don't know if you can invite you over.
No,
I'm not happy. Would you be quiet?
Well, I usually do it alone because I charge.
Good.
I charge to do it in public. But you make funny faces in the mirror.
Can we afford you?
No.
Music takes me out of my overthinking and just gives this like, we all have our tools, right?
Sister were fragile ex-children and they could not function. She learned that with music, it overrides that part of the brain and they were able to do things they couldn't do when she gave them instruments and played music.
Oh, it's so powerful.
It's like they can't function with their bodies and their brains, but they were like non-functioning, and she did a whole thing. It's a whole year at SDSU showing how music and instruments can override and affect a different part of the brain. My grandpa too, when he had stroke, he couldn't talk, but he could sing.
I'm sure it has some very big power. The Levine had all these amazing instruments,
It's a different part
Plucks
of the brain.
the chords of your heart.
Right, exactly. It goes to the deepest places where it connects. Brings us back
like,
up.
like a tuning fork, right? All of a sudden your body is just like, right?
Oh,
They say,
Yes.
Eastern music, is often very, very, really, touches your heart,
Right.
really good,
Yes.
They write it has the music scales has an extra half tone in it, which is actually that much closer to the music scale that was used in the
Oh.
which is why it feels more
touches us.
So interesting.
Yeah. So soft music could like calm us. Exciting music could excite us. And in heaven there's different gates, sharim. The shar of music, Nagina, is next to the shar of tshuva. It's very holy.
Shir and Shar.
Shir and Shar. It brings us back to who we really are. We really are very proud and excited that it's going to be Shabbos in a couple of days. We're really very thankful that we're breathing and that we live in Tzfat. But all those layers in between, what I know and understand and the heart could be, okay, so what else is new? Like boring, But wait, down deep, when we can access it, like we said, the tuning fork, we can access the down deep. How? Sometimes by those silly little things that I'm not going to show you. Well, there's a cup in the middle, no, and that can access the depth of who we really are, the neshama. So Moshe Rabbeinu, there's something very interesting in this parsha about Moshe Rabbeinu, and who knows what it is? Who can tell us? Well, I'll give you a hint. Something about his name. Now I'll give you another hint. From the beginning of Shemos, Vayikra, Bamidbar, and Devarim, all 4 of the 5 books of Moses, right? His name is in every single parsha, except for one.
Yitro.
The name is Tetzaveh, right? No, yeah, it's this week. He's not in this week's parsha. Why not? Well, one hint that we can remember is this week's parsha falls out on the week of when he passed away. Zayin Ador passed away. Yeah. And
The golden calf.
yes, it has to do with the golden calf. After the Jews sinned, very good, with the golden calf, Hashem said, I'm going to destroy them and you're going to be the leader of a new Jewish people. And what did Moshe answer? No, I'm not in. If you destroy them, wipe me out, erase me from your book. He is so a beloved, honest, faithful manhi, faithful leader. He's so kind that it wasn't about him at all. He said, I don't want any part of it. And who was he? I'm a vater. I won't be in your Torah. Who was he talking about? The Erev Rav. Who was sinning? Mostly it was the people like on the side. But for that, he gave his life. For that, he gave his future. For that, he was willing to be not part of our Torah. So one might think that his being not in this parsha was Hashem being upset at him. This is how you talk to me. You're giving me like an ultimatum. Like you're like threatening me. If you don't, if you destroy the Jewish people, I'm out. No, it's the opposite. Hashem loved, respected, and was so full of admiration and closeness to Moshe for being such a big, beautiful, warm, loving leader that he was willing, levater, he was willing to be not in the Torah. And so let's see in the Parsha how Hashem talks without Moshe's name at all. It's so revealing of the closeness, and it's so revealing of Moshe's greatness and of Hashem's response, his reaction to it. And it's really all bound up in the first pasuk. So who would like to read? There's Hebrew on one side and English on the other. So if two of us could read the Hebrew and the English together, we'll have the whole Parsha.
If I get a sheet, I'll read it.
Water is going to be...
Oh, sorry.
No.
I think that water is for us.
No.
We missed the beginning. So could you tell us what parsha you were dealing with today's?
Sure, we're dealing with Tetzaveh.
Oh, great. Okay, that makes it easy.
Parsha, the only one that since he was born, that Moshe's name is not in it. See the ceiling? It's pretty. Okay, who would like to read the Hebrew of the first?
Paper.
Good. Well, here's an extra. Here's another one. Okay, let's start. Ata Tetzaveh.
I don't even see the Hebrew. On
You
this
shall
side.
instruct it.
Okay. Va'ata Tetzaveh.
Anybody for the English?
Bnei Yisrael.
Which is what you say. You shall instruct the Jewish people.
V'yihu elecha.
And they to bring
Shemen zayit zach.
clear olive oil, olive.
Le achlo
Near tummy.
ner tamid.
Beautiful. It should be a beaten olives for lighting, for kindling the lamps tamid, like constantly. Now, who is Hashem talking to when he says Ata and you should instruct, should command the Jewish people? Who is he talking? He's talking to Moshe. Every other time he says, Moshe, Tetzaveh. Moshe, you should tell us what the Torah, what I want, what Hashem's ratzon is. This time he says you. Why? Because we don't have Moshe's name in this Parsha. But what could be closer than you? When I'm talking to somebody that I'm close to, that I know that we have a relationship, I say you. I don't have to say their name. Just the two of us. So I say you. Hashem felt so close, is so close to Moshe that he calls him by you. You, Moshe. You. Tell the Jewish people. And so we see how Hashem answered, and we see the Mesiras Nefesh and the love that Moshe Rabbeinu had and has for us. Even in the story of Purim, this is beautiful. It says that after Haman, after he got like in trouble, Vayeshochu Chamas HaMelech, that the anger of the king subsided. Shachacha. It was like it got less. And if you see, the word shachacha is equal exactly numerically to Moshe.
Really?
How? Shachacha has a shin and a hey on both ends, right? Moshe has a shin and a hey, right? Mem, shin, hey. What's left? By Moshe, it's the mem. By shachacha, it's the two kafs. 2 20s equal 40. So through Moshe, he always is on our behalf. He always says to Hashem, they didn't mean it. They just were overwhelmed. Please forgive them. He and all great tzaddikim care for us so much that they're always like they're a defense attorney for us. So Shachacha equals Moshe in the Megillah. And then also in Tehillim, it says, Ashrei ish shakacha lo. How fortunate is if we are like close to Hashem. Ashrei ish shakacha lo. Shakacha is the same letters. There's the shin and a hey, like Moshe has. And what's left? The two kafs. And with Moshe, it's the mem. And 20 and 20 equals 40. So in the positive way, how lucky we are when we have a Moshe Rabbeinu. How lucky we are that he hasn't forgotten us, that he's still, even more so than when he was alive, davening for us. And when Mordechai came to, when there was a very big scare in heaven when we had the Purim story. What happened down here was just like an example, or was just showing what was going on in heaven. Already when the Jews were sinning with the Avodah Zarah and with using the Kelim of the Beis HaMikdash, like we spoke about last week, Hashem signed and sealed their fate. And so they were looking for tzaddikim to help us. And so who did they find? They found Moshe Rabbeinu. He said, okay, is there any Jew down there that is keeping the Torah? Let's bring him in. And they found Mordechai. And they became like a team. Moshe up there, Mordechai down here. And together they saved the Jewish people. And so Moshe is very, very closely related to the story of Purim and to Mordechai. And in this first pasuk, it talks about the Torah. The Torah is like shemen zayisach. The Torah is like oil. The Torah is like the menorah. The menorah is the one vessel in the whole temple, Beis HaMikdash, that lasts forever. That's with us in the Gullus. How is it with us in the Gullus? What do we light?
First of all, what do you mean by it lasts forever?
It's a keli, it's a vessel in the Beit HaMikdash that we bring with us into the Gullus, into today, into all the years, into all the generations. The table, it was there. I don't know where it is.
Right.
Yes, but the menorah is with us. And who could guess how the menorah is with us?
The light is our mitzvahs, right? That's they say, and the candle is. Wait, I got it back.
In their mitzvah.
Yeah.
Right? Very good. Together, the mitzvah is the candle and the light is the Torah. And what mitzvahs do we do with candles and light? Anybody can remember? I'll give you a hint.
Shabbos.
Shabbos. You got it. We light the Shabbos candles. When we're lighting the Shabbos candles, we're lighting the menorah of the Beis HaMikdash in a certain way. We're not just, okay, done that, put a V on. Okay, done that. Okay, what's next? Put out the salads. We're connecting. We're connecting with Moshe. We're connecting with the Holy Temple. We're bringing the light into the Gullus. Like the Mishkan. Remember last week, Shem said, make for me a Mishkan and I will dwell in them. Wait a minute, Mishkan is one. Wouldn't grammar say in it? What's in them? And Rashi says in the hearts of every single Jew. So when we're lighting the candles, we're bringing the Mishkan into our home. The Mishkan, Malki Karfman told us, Mishkan stands for 4 letters, right? Mem, Shin, Kaf, Nun. Mem is mita, bed.
Okay, mita.
Shin is shulchan, table. Chaf, I forgot. And Nun, okay, we'll get there. The Kaf is like kalim, like, forks, spoons, glasses,
It was like a Yiddish cup.
Use your cup. And Nun is ner, a light. In other words, the Mishkan is in my heart and it's in my kitchen. It's in my kitchen. We bring the Mishkan into our lives every day, and we're doing such great things when we sit at the table. Remember, Zeh HaShochan L'Pnei Hashem, the table. We shouldn't talk Lashon Hara at the table. We should make a nice bracha. It should be neat. It should be pleasant. It should be delicious, like you guys make for us. Thank you. That was a plug. Come, you don't get the delicious breakfast on Zoom. You're missing out. That's a Mishkan with us today. It's not once we had a Mishkan in the desert. Mishkan we have. It says twice in a pasuk Mishkan, and Rashi says it's a Mishkan when it was up, and it's a Mishkan when it was destroyed, because it never was destroyed. It just moved over to our hearts or our kitchen, to our shulchan. Yeah, sure.
It says we always talk about Torah as Netzachi, and like everything in it is relevant for us today as well. But we have this whole Parsha, like all these how to build the Mishkan. Okay, the Beit Mikdash, like was on Hashem, we'll have a bit of the Mishkan was like a one-time kind of thing. So what do we learn from all these?
Oh, that's a very good question.
Saying, you need to have the sockets like this and this and that. Like, what do we learn?
And the Beis HaMikdash, like you say, will be rebuilt. And every time we do a mitzvah, we're adding a stone, which is amazing. We're the builders of the Beis HaMikdash, us around this table right now. Don't look at me like incredulously. It's true. We're building it today. We're sitting here. This is the Shulchan. This is okay, that's the Beis HaMikdash. But the Mishkan, we bring with us into the Gullus. The Mishkan is in our hearts. Bilvavi Mishkan. It's in our heart. When we think good thoughts, when we think thoughts of Amunah, we're living the Mishkan. It's with us in Gullus. And the rabbis have said that what's today the Mishkan? I think this is from Bilam. Mishkan today is the shul and the yeshivas. In Eretz Yisrael for sure, and even in Chutz La'aretz in the Gullus, it's called Mikdash Ma'at. Remember the rules from the Shulchan Aruch? When you walk into a shul, you should clean off the mud on your boot. You shouldn't just walk through for a shortcut. Ken, it's Mikdash Ma'at, but I think it's very connected to Mishkan. Yeah, and to Mikdash. But Mishkan, what is the Mishkan? Because this is what I remember learning. What is the Mishkan in the Gullus? We just said it's our Shabbos table. It's our kitchen table. Shulchan, Mita, Ner, V'Kelim. Spells Mishkan. It's in my heart, right? Because Hashem said, "Build for me Mishkan, and I will dwell in them." And it's the shuls and the yeshivas. Like this room is a holy Mishkan, and maybe we're interchanging Mishkan to Beis HaMikdash, but that's okay.
I'm still not sure though how actually learning all this happening. 40 sockets here, the curves need to be 40 centimeters or whatever.
Right.
Thanks.
I have to admit, I kind of like
flick through it.
Well, in the Holy Torah, everything, like you said, applies to today, nitzchi. So how is it? How is it nitzchi? So let's talk about the menorah. The menorah is nitzchi because we light it for Hanukkah, we light it for Shabbos. Remember last week we talked about the, you help me pronounce it, acacia wood?
Yes,
acacia wood. Acacia wood was Atse Shitim Omdim. And remember how we said we should bring with us from our whole lives and be proud of who we were, because it was when they were in Mitzrayim, that's when they grew them, and so not to forget our past. Well, when they planted the trees in Mitzrayim.
And they took them out with them?
Yes. Yeah, and to remind, don't forget your past.
Stand
up, be proud.
La 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 la.
This is a rehearsal. It's a little musical. Now could now could I come for Shabbos?
What?
Now could I come for Shabbos?
Um,
You'll think of it.
I'm thinking about
I'll behave.
it.
So
Don't bring any trees with you.
and Omdim, they stand with us forever. They stand and we should be proud of who we are. There's so much to learn from it on a, I don't know if you call it emotional, spiritual, secret. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. They were here forever. Deep, yeah. All those great kingdoms of those great countries went up and down, and now they're in the history book. Unless you missed that page. You were out that week, that Tuesday. You missed Rome. You missed Greek. We're here. We're not going anywhere because Hashem, Astakli Lolam, it's forever, my dear children, my dear wife, my dear beloved. Thank you, Hashem. Thank you. So if that doesn't make us happy, then we resort to this. And then after the Mila Dishtusa, the silliness, real happiness enters our heart. We're beloved by Hashem, we're his only daughter. So Moshe Rabbeinu, he said to Hashem, erase me from your Torah. And he came to a higher place. Because what is a name? Shira, Miriam, Debbie, what is a name? It's how people know you, right? There's a lot in a name. But above that name is who I am, who's me. You know, I'm not just my name, although that's a very important part. I'm me. And so Moshe and Hashem were like relating on a higher level. It's you and me. It's you and me. And that was the greatness of Moshe Rabbeinu. And he was so great that Hashem says, go down, kishiches amcho. He was in heaven getting the first set of tablets of the Saraya of Tzfat. And then that's when the Jews sinned with the golden calf because they thought he was late and they thought he was dead. And Hashem says, Lechrei kishiches amcha, your people, the ones that you brought from the Erev Rav, sinned, and go down because you're with them. And it says, Rashi says, Moshe hu Yisrael, Yisrael hey Moshe. We are so bound with Moshe. Moshe is the Jewish people, and the Jewish people is Moshe. And that's why Hashem said, go down, because Moshe Rabbeinu is with, we can't separate us from the tzaddik. We can't separate, it's Hashem, his Torah, and the Jewish people. And the tzaddik connects us. The tzaddik is like that vav that connects us to Hashem. And Rav Moshe Sassover, remember Moshe Rabbeinu, he gave up, or was willing to give up being in the whole Torah for the sake of what people? They were on the side. They were the Erev Rav. They weren't the big tzaddikim. And remember what Moshe Sassover, when he danced on the table? When we were leaving Egypt, Hashem jumped and danced and went on the roof of all the homes where there was a Jew. And he sang, here lives a Jew. What kind of Jews? 49th level of impurity. They were also, they were no different than the Egyptians at some point. They were very close to being learning and becoming Egyptian culture. That's the Jew that he was so proud of, so excited. This Rav Moshe Leib Sassover said. Now, since then, which is 3 weeks ago, and I love what he said, I've been hearing stories about Rav Moshe Leib Sassover. So now he's my hero. He's my Rav. I don't know. So you have to hear this. He said he learned what true Jew love for a friend is from two drunkards, two poor, no home. They were lying in the Bowery, drunk. And one of them said, oh, I feel so bad. So his friend said, what's the matter? What's wrong? He said, how can you be my friend if you don't feel my pain? If you don't know what's bothering me? He said that. And then when he got older, he was blind. So they asked him, what happened? How did you get blind? He said, well, his wife, God bless her, whenever she was making things for Shabbos, buying, in the shuk, she'd buy a chicken and she'd buy flour and she'd make the chal. She always said, Lekavod Shabbos Kodesh, which was really supposed to say, I wish I could remember. You go to a bar call and you pick up the soup nuts, Lekavod Shabbos Kodesh, the celery, Lekavod Shabbos Kodesh. And then when she made it, she poured the soup nuts in, Lekavod, And he said every time she said that, every time it creates a malach, an angel. Also when we say amen, it creates an angel. And he said the angels were so bright and so electrically light that it blinded him. Because he was on a level to see these angels in his house every time his wife said Lekavit Shabbos Kodesh. And then just yesterday, I heard something very beautiful. When he passed away at his funeral, there was music. All of a sudden, there's a story that happened to him during his life. A horse. No, Moshe Leib Sassover. He was a student of Baal Shem Tov. Sassover. Yeah, those are the stories about him, about Fran and about his wife and Kavod Shabbos, and about when Hashem was so excited about these Jews, and he started dancing also on the table. Hashem danced on the roof of every house with such love and such excitement. So what happened is a long story, and I don't have time, I don't even know it, but during his lifetime, he had great Mesiras Nefesh for a chassan and a kala, a groom and a bride. And he danced in front of them, and he helped them to get married. And he did the whole story with a lot of Mesiras Nefesh. So they had music at the wedding. And as he was dancing, he said, wow, I wish I could be escorted to the Olam Haba with such music. So here's his funeral. And all of a sudden, horses break down the gate to the cemetery. And there's klezmer and people playing music. And they said, go away. What are you doing? This is a funeral. And they said, we don't know. The horses just took off and brought us here. And then one of the people there who remembered this story and remembered that he himself, or Moshe Leib Sassover, said, I wish I could be, because it was great Mesiras Nefesh. He was very proud of this mitzvah. I wish I could be escorted to the next world with this tomb that was at the wedding. And so if anyone hears stories about Rav Moshe Leib Sassover, I'm collecting them because they're beautiful and they warm my heart. So moving right along.
His name certainly fits his personality. Leib in the middle.
Heart, yeah. And Moshe.
Moshe.
Yeah. So we are all a walking Beit HaMikdash. What is our mind? What does our mind connect to? Kadosh Kodashim, the Holy of Holies. Because our mind should be pure. Our mind should only think with thoughts of holiness. Hashem loves me. I love Hashem. The Mashiach is coming. My neighbor is nice. She didn't mean to drop all the water or the dirty water on my clean clothes. Think good thoughts. Think pure thoughts. The heart is the heichal. Outside the heart. Because heichal is like outside of the courtyard. Look at that. Look at that. Shen sent a picture. Thank you. The Mizbeach is the digestive system. And I don't know why, but if anyone finds out why, please tell me. And the mouth are the vessels, Chafetz Chaim says. Remember
because it's sacrifices and they're being consumed. So it fits with the digestive system.
Say it again.
It's the I'm sorry, Mizbeach is where the sacrifices were coming up, they were consumed by fire or consumed.
Right.
But they also were eaten afterwards.
Right.
They got cooked and then they got eaten.
which is also the digestive beginning. Wow. Thank you. The mouth is the vessels of the Holy Temple. And remember, the menorah has 7 branches. And that corresponds to 7 entries or holes in our face. 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears, and a mouth.
7 entries to the base of makeup.
7 parts of the menorah. It had 7, like a candelabra had 7 lights. You probably have one.
And it's the nostrils, the mouth, the ears.
And the mouth is the main one. It's in the middle. And the other 3 on each side are facing the mouth. It lit with a miracle. And it lights us up. And the mouth is the main thing. As it says in Mishlei, Maves v'chaim b'yad ha'lashon. Death and life are in the hands of the mouth, of the tongue. Because we could say something, God forbid, kill a person. We could say something that the blood could rush to his face and he could be embarrassed. And that's like not good. That's very not good. Or we could say something that just builds him, makes him feel good, makes him feel accepted and loved and warm and needed and cared for. And so we're very powerful with our tongue. We're very, very powerful. Then there were 4 exiles of the Jewish people, and each one we were redeemed by one of the great tzaddikim. The first 3, the first exile was we got out in the schus of Abraham, the second in the merit of Yitzchak, the third in the merit of Yaakov, and now we're in the 4th exile, the long one, thousands of years. We're still in it. We will be redeemed the merit of Moshe. Why? That's why we're in it so long. Moshe is not, and Mashiach is not coming till everyone's on the train. Everyone's on board. The farthest person, we will gather in the ingathering of exiles from the 4 corners of the world.
That was the strongest thing of Moshe Rabbeinu, that he was the shepherd.
Yeah.
Right? Even the Erev Rav, right?
Yes.
These are the mischievous little ones that are scampering over here, and if you're really a shepherd, those are the ones you focus on, right? You keep the big guys are the going. You have to keep everybody together.
Right. And that's who he said, erase me from your Torah. Those guys over there, the Erev Rav.
Except these little guys, and then I can't do my job, because that's what I do.
I take care of all of them. Yeah.
Isn't it very much on that we were redeemed with the machine, but the eldest with the machine.
Yeah.
We will be redeemed in the merit of women.
Women, right?
Moshe also.
Oh, well, I think it's on 2 levels.
Yeah.
No, it's us. We're front seat, and he's also there. He's also. I don't think it like
doesn't
contradict. Right. The Tzaddik, Moshe, and us women. That's good. We're in good company. I don't mind that at all. You know, Moshe power, women power. Yeah.
Stragglers.
Right? Yes.
A lot of wayward children and husbands that are maybe misbehaving.
Yeah. Another child. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. And the way the word Rechov, which is our womb, is Rachem, mercy. It's the same word.
Yeah.
We're full of mercy to those who are, off, who have strayed. And when we say we're going to not bring Mashiach, and Moshe says, no, it's not coming yet until we be makabetz, those who are far away in the 4 corners of the world. Could be geographically, Thailand or wherever, Cambodia, I don't know. There's such a place? Yeah, I think I have a nephew who lives in Cambodia. He's part of the UN, or his wife is. Yeah.
No recommendation.
And it's also right here in Tzfat, or in the middle of Geula in Jerusalem, Yerushalayim.
Hi.
Could be the end of the world where
I need the end
far. And Mashiach isn't coming until we're all together. We're all on the train. And after Rav once said, if he wanted to, he could bring Mashiach here and now. But there are those who don't merit it yet, and they're going to be cast away forever. So he's not bringing Mashiach. So his Gabbai, one of his students, said, "Oh, Rebbe, because of the Rishayim, we should suffer not having Mashiach. Bring Mashiach." You know what he answered him? The Apter Rebbe answered his student, "But I'm going to miss you."
That one. Bam.
So if it's not a leap year, like this year, if it's a leap year, we have another 30 days to get ready for Purim. And Purim is when we cry to Hashem, Vanitzak, and we have tzaka gedolah, like Mordechai had in the ear, and it's done with simcha. It's done with like Hashem, you're everything. Remember in the Megillah, Hashem's name is not even one time mentioned. When a sofer becomes a sofer, and he doesn't know it very well yet, he writes a Megillah, because you want to write Hashem's name when you're clear you're going to do it well, and you don't want to have to erase it. Megillah, there's no erasing, there's no Hashem's name, but Hashem is the whole Megillah. And he's all of Teva. He's all in our lives, without in the background, but he's at the front, cheering us on, helping us, saving us. What? Yeah, that's true. Thank you. When it says Hamelach without Hamelach HaCheshverosh, it refers to Hashem. And I just heard that even when it says Hamelach HaCheshverosh, King HaCheshverosh, he refers to Hashem, because Hashem puts in his mind what to do and what to say. So there was a great Rav, Majitzer Rebbe, his name was Reb Shaul Yedidia, and he was running in Warsaw, running away from the Germans. And there were bombs and falling all over. And it was a scary time. It was like, anybody can relate to that? It was very, very scary. People were upset. People were worried. People were sad. He's always in a good mood. He has a nigun, he sings. He has a nice word to tell over. They asked him, everyone's scared to death for good reason. How do you walk around smiling? So he's told them his secret. He says, I have a briefcase and I put all my worries into the briefcase and I lock it. This only has a zipper. His briefcase had a lock. Once a day, I unlock it, I open it up and I look at it and I pray to Hashem and I daven, help me with this problem and with the Germans and with the Polish and with the bomb, help me with the bombs going on in my house, bombs going on in my heart. Otherwise, I keep it closed. And I have to open it more than once a day. The Germans aren't going to come any slower. The Polish army won't be doing their job better if I keep my briefcase open. It's not going to help. It's not going to help. Now, this is easier said than done. But if a person can take his problems and put it, like somebody's grandfather said, he had like a suitcase. On Friday, right before Shabbos, like he put all the problems in and he didn't open it up till Saturday night. So Shabbos, we're worry-free. A baby in Hashem's arms. We're at the chuppah. We're at the cheder yichud for 25 hours. Who's worrying about the dentist or the electric bill?
That's what I love about shutting my phone off. Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah.
And then other days of the week, it's just like, oh, I better check. But really, it's become like really what in the last 20 years.
Yeah. It doesn't work for us. We work for it.
Yeah.
Once I forgot it and I came here, I said, oh, should I go back home? No, I'll be late. And I had such a nice morning. Not like, look where it is. Yeah.
Shabbos. My fingers off all this time.
Yeah, it's a healthy hour.
Once I get over thinking nobody cares about me.
Oh, I hold mine all day. I get around 3 calls a week. It's always in my hand, like walking down the street. Okay, maybe 2.5 days I've got a call.
I'm here.
Yeah. But Shabbos is an island. Shabbos is a pleasure. Like it says, King David says in Tehillim, Yismach leiv mavakshe Hashem. A person who's happy will search out Hashem. Because when we can get to a state of happiness and not have that heaviness and all the distractions and all the things that are going against what we naturally are, which we stand up like those Asashia would, stand in the way that we're who we are, not be who we aren't, not be someone else, and not, mitzvahs are sweet and pleasant. When we can feel that and feel who I am, then what's the natural Mevakshe Hashem? It's just a natural outcome. Yismach leiv, a person who's happy, Mevakshe Hashem, because like you described, who wouldn't want Shabbos? It's so sweet. It's so wonderful. Who wouldn't want it? Who wouldn't love it? People are so like intertwined with the problems and with this and with that and with mixed up that
distraction.
Yeah, distraction.
Distraction.
Disattraction.
Yeah. I stay with my brother sometimes in America. Doesn't keep Shabbos. He's not Jewish. And it's just like zoom, you know what I mean? And I just sit there by myself, because that's what I've got, But I see that they just can't imagine just shutting down and
they miss all the glory.
Because then they might think, and they might think, Chas v'shalom. Some people, not your brother, some people, and then they might say, wait a minute, I'm empty. Or what am I running for? Or why did I come here? Or what's the reason? Anyway, after 120, it's like, some dirt. So why? We thank God have a reason to get up, a reason to go to sleep, a reason to live.
Those very questions.
And how lucky we are, how fortunate we are. We have a reason to live. Because after 120, that's when it starts. Like this man got a job and he was okay worker, but you know what he spent time on? There was a coffee room in the office. There were like 20 workers, and he kept it tip-top condition. The sink was always clean. The cups of coffee were always there. He bought new coffee. If the milk never ran out, he always made it nice. He even bought some pretty real cups. And he spent a lot of time cleaning. And he was wondering, why is my boss not proud and happy with me? Why is he complaining about my work? Look at the coffee room. He didn't come here for the coffee room. That's on the side. Came here to work. So some of us are so busy cleaning our coffee rooms. But what about our life? What about our life? What did we come here for? And then this world is just, what is it? It's just the entranceway to the hall, to the ulam. That's where all the excitement, that's where all the love, that's where all the happiness is. And we get caught up in the entry room. What are we doing out there? The wedding's all, you're missing it. So if we can keep our eye on the ball, and that's where the happiness is, that's where the meaning of life is, like you said, the meaning. So sometimes we have a lot of problems, and Purim comes, and with the simcha, we can overcome everything. When we're happy, we realize Hashem's listening to us, we get all the Yeshuas, everything is like from bad to good, from worry to calm, from darkness to light, all that is Purim. And yet sometimes we're just not ready. We still have our heaviness. We're still worried. So Hashem says, I'll give you another month. He's giving us another month. And if you ever try crossing a street, like not in Tzfat, like in Yerushalayim, it's a big street, and sometimes there aren't a lot of pedestrians. So you have to push a button so that it turns green for your side to walk across. Ever have that? So you push this button, and it says, it gives you a message. It says, Bakashatcha batipul. Your request is being serviced, is being processed. And I pushed that button like 5 times because I like to hear that word. Because I heard a shir once, and the name was Bakashatcha batipul.
Which one?
All of them. Hashem is taking care of us. We might not see it today. Might have to be tomorrow. Might be in 20 years. It might be, remember that plant, that tree that grew once every 100 years, and when it finally grew and sprouted, there's a tree. It's from Russia. It's a very special tree. You can look it up. It's like Russian, and it once every 100 years does it like sprout or grow.
They have them in spot.
100-year tree?
A centennial. Well,
wow.
If they get this big shoot. And a big flower on the top, and I think they call it a centennial tree. I mean, I couldn't tell you because I don't know. But yes.
We have a centennial
I could tell you
where I used to live. It bloomed every 100 years.
Really?
And
wow.
I got to see the bloom. I just want some man because they get it.
Right, 120. But it's like the teachers don't give up. It's coming. It might take 100 years. That's okay. Relax. It's coming. It's coming. I'm taking care of you, and that's what Hashem. So if we could do what this man did with the box, what the Majid Rebbe did with his suitcase that he locked up, an hour a day he opened it up, he talked to Hashem about all his problems, about the problems of the war, about the war inside, about the war with his neighbor. He thanked Hashem. That was the hour. The rest of the day, what's left? To be happy.
When I get ready for Shabbos, I take all my problems and put them in a bundle, like a sack, and I open the door and I throw them out, and they're not coming back in till after Shabbos, and maybe not then either.
Maybe, but then they're all resolved and they're all sweet. Wow, you like the Majid Rebbe.
Because it's important, and I remind my mind, you know, you can't do this. It's Shabbos now. It's not here. Problems aren't here. They can come back mostly.
It's not an issue. They've been sweet. Yeah. So that's what actually we learn in Sichos Haran. A person should take an hour every day. An hour could be 5 minutes, but we can aim for an hour. Start with 5 minutes, and to tell Hashem all my problems. This bothers me. The war on the outside, the war on the inside, my personal problems. Even thank Him, cry, yell, scream, dance, sing. Shar kol hayom yerak b'simcha. So how are we supposed to be happy exactly? I have this long list of problems, but they're batipul. I pushed that button by the green light.
Say it again.
They're being taken care of. Bakashasech batipul. your request is being taken care of, is in process. And then the opposite is true. These are like two win-win. If a person's happy all day long, it would be easy for him to spend that hour or 5 minutes crying out to Hashem, discussing. That's tefillah in its original form. Tefillah in its original form, the Rambam says, is you have a problem, you go in a corner, you say, Hashem, I'm afraid of the dentist. Or Hashem, somebody just made me feel bad. Or Hashem, I have no money and I need to buy milk or a new car. And then the rest of the day, it's not my problem. He's helping me. Okay, he says I should work. He says I should go to the doctor. That's fine. But without that worry, without that heaviness, without that concern, because he's with me. If he's with me, I could, one Rav said, can't find his name. With Hashem, we could fly to the seventh heaven, and without him, we can't get through the threshold. So he's with me, and he's listening, and he's taking care of me. So if I'm happy all day long, I'm like relaxed and open. I'm not closed, and like, there isn't that like stima, that like block, thank you, that I can't even express myself. It's like too heavy in there. Like, it gets caught in my throat. I can't even talk, can't open up. And I can be happy, I can open up. And when I open up, I can be relaxed for the 23 hours. So it's like a
Circulation
win-win.
and not stagnation.
Right, so it's a win-win. And this is what Adar is teaching us. Hashem is there, even though his name's not in the Megillah. Hashem is taking care of us. And he's with us today. And so if we can feel that, well, you're on candid camera, like Hashem loves us, he's with us. And we'll see his revealed kindness, his revealed rachamim. We'll see Mashiach, we'll see Geula b'rachamim. And now's the time, there's a beautiful time out there. I think it's perfect. Any questions, any stories, any insights? Very happy to share. Wow.
Thank you, people. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lisa.
English is erased.
Thanks to
One